Thank you very much for this invitation. I am in the ungrateful position to give you a keynote speech that is written in the program. It's not so easy for me to open this conference because I don't know anything about you. And when I say you, I mean especially people from Russia who are here in the audience. I don't know so much about your working conditions. I don't know much about your issues you're working on, and I don't know anything about funding of art and also science here in Russia. But I will perform the keynote speaker, nevertheless, now here. I have lived in Switzerland for more than 20 years. I have taught at the Art Academy as a philosopher. I'm specialized in aesthetics and cultural theory. My field is combining art and science, so the interface between art and science is something that I was working on quite a long time. And now in these weeks I'm changing to Hamburg, Germany, because I have a new professorship at the Hafen City University. There I established a new studies program. The title is Metropolitan Culture. So one of my working fields is inventing new programs for students in universities, because I think universities are very conservative and they need refreshment. So, as everybody knows, Switzerland is a very wealthy country. We live on illegal money that people, many of them are criminals, put on Swiss banks because they don't want to pay tax in their countries. Taxes in Switzerland are still lower than in other countries, and these taxes makes the country rich. So this unfair system still works, and also makes that funding of art and also science is quite strong and big. Also the funding of transdisciplinary work. Transdisciplinarity has become a claim to many funding programs in the arts and also in science. And there's one thing I would like to say. I don't talk so much now of performing arts in the narrow sense, and I don't talk so much of arts. I talk much more of transdisciplinarity as a kind of knowledge production. And artists are taking part in this knowledge production, but my focus here is not so much art, because I think there are other people here in workshops who really focus art. So it's not a subcultural claim. It has become, in a way, a mainstream to set up interdisciplinary teams. Besides this, during the last decades, there have been created many research places, like institutes in art academies, for example, where you have possibility to bring artists and theorists together. So art and science, art and humanities, but also art and technical disciplines. So I was asked to talk on transdisciplinary work, and I will tell you some stories from my country and work situations, and I will also give you a short theoretical definitions of some keywords or issues we will talk on this conference here. I will do this to construct a theoretical frame that we can refer on during the conference, and you can use it or you can reject it. That's up to you. I pick up a sentence from the conference draft. Why is interdisciplinary about, and why is it necessary? This is the question for tomorrow morning, I think, for this morning. So my focus, yeah, okay, that's it. And I will give you some definitions of my understanding of transdisciplinarity by reference to a specific studies program that we established 2008 at the Art Academy. And you hear already that I talk of trans and not so much of inter, but your question is inter. And there is a difference between trans and inter, and I will tell you later what the difference is. So the program that we established at the Art Academy, the title is MA Trans. MA, it's a Master of Transdisciplinarity, nothing else. That's the title of the Master Transdisciplinarity. It's written there. MA Trans, I call it like this, is a quite radical and also controversial program because the students don't have any thematic guideline. The guideline is not a conventional theme or topic or issue or discipline that is usually like that when you apply at the university. The topic is transdisciplinarity, only that. So students apply to the course with a totally different background, complete different topics, and students come also with complete different habits. And I think the fact that they come with complete different habits is one of the most difficult things that I have to deal with in daily life. The program is not only about crossing borders in art, like, for example, performing arts. It's about crossing borders between art and science, between art and daily life, science and technique, technique and art, the digital and the analog world, and so on and so on. So it's quite wild how they combine disciplines. There is no, as far as I know, restriction of disciplines that you can combine. One basis of our definition of transdisciplinarity is the connection between the discipline somebody comes from and what we call Lebenswelt. Lebenswelt is a German word, it's a philosophical term that different philosophers use, like Hans Blumenberg and others, and it's also used in English. I don't know if you know this, Lebensworld. You can maybe translate it as life world or lived-in world. It means that there should be a strong connection between the specialist and the outside of the discipline. There must be a kind of practical use for this kind of research or projects the students do. So the expert has to communicate with the non-expert, the artist has to communicate with the non-artist, and vice versa. So the first step or first part of my definition of transdisciplinarity, there must be this connection between the discipline and what I call Lebenswelt. Approximately 15 students, 10 to 20 students a year start in this program. So they are gardeners, opera singers, architects, engineers, graphic designers. They come from TV productions, commercials from all over. And usually they also come from different countries. But this is a huge disadvantage in Switzerland because usually students who come from abroad cannot afford living in Zurich because it's such an expensive city. So we have not, the cultural mix is not high enough in our country. At least in the university. So when they started the program, it was quite funny because they didn't really know what kind of professors or lecturers they should engage. Because in education, you usually get engaged because you are a specialist of a discipline or a field. In this case, the specialization was non-specialization. They were looking for people who are specialized in transferring knowledge or translating one content into the other. And this competence is still very difficult to find. The world has problems, but universities still have departments. That's how G.D. Brewer once said. Or like Jürgen Mittelstraß, he's one of the most prominent theorists of knowledge production, says, I quote, problems do not do us the favor anymore to define themselves concerning our order of scientific habits. Quote end. The world has become complex. Scientific disciplines always gives us a too small perspective on problems. For these reasons, we don't have any other opportunity than to work transdisciplinary. That doesn't mean that we have to eliminate the discipline and the specialist, but it means that there is no other way, if we want to understand what happens in the world, than do it in that mode. I would like to show you now a very short film on the definition of transdisciplinarity, because our students, they react on this omnipresence of the claim, and they made a short and very ironic film on the notion of transdisciplinarity. It is made for the opening exhibition. It was made for the opening exhibition last year, and I didn't do anything with this film. It was really the students did it together with some lecturers. And I would like to show it now to you. And I have to apologize because it's not subtitled in English, but I think the audience here is well educated in looking at images and in interpreting images. So I think you can look at the images and you see there is trans all over, and I will give you the translation of the spoken word later. And there's only one word you have to know. The German word for transdisciplinarity is Transdisziplinarität. So you have to know that. It's not so difficult, and then you will get the film. Okay, I try it now.
Transdisziplinarität.
Transdisziplinarität.
Transdisziplinarität besteht aus dem Wort und Disziplin. Was eine ist, muss wohl kaum erklärt werden. So ist doch die Welt Meister im Erfinden von neuen Disziplinen. Es wurde über Jahre versucht, immer neue, kleinere Einheiten zu schaffen, Spezialisten auszubilden, die nur noch ihre eigene Aufgabe kennen.
Entweder du bist an Bord oder du bist nicht an Bord. Und wenn du an Bord bist, dann gehörst du dazu, ganz einfach.
Transdisziplinarität
Arbeitet am Gegenteil.
Welche Schritte könnten Frau Hoffmann und Frau Müller gehen, damit aus zwei Teilen eins wird? Ein Ganzes.
Wie das Wort Trans andeutet, spricht man vom Übergang, vom Hinüberschreiten von der einen in die andere Disziplin. Man versucht, die spezialisierte Welt wieder zusammenzuführen, weil man glaubt, nur damit Lösungen für globale Probleme zu finden. Hört sich toll an, oder? Nur was ist denn eigentlich so spannend an der Transdisziplinarität?
Much of the discourse of the last day and a half and moving into tomorrow focuses on the question of
Wir nennen es das Dritte. Das, was entsteht, wenn sich zwei Disziplinen auf gleicher Augenhöhe begegnen, um ein Problem zu lösen, das jede einzelne Disziplin für sich alleine nicht lösen kann. Beispiele für das braucht es auch mindestens einen Hundedresseur und einen Modedesigner. Oder eben. Deshalb braucht es uns. Wir erzeugen Reibung. Und aus Reibung wird Wärme. Und aus Wärme Liebe. Und die Welt braucht Liebe. Also eben.
Transdisziplinarität.
Dinge werden zusammengedacht, die immer als separiert hingenommen wurden. Das ist
Transdisziplinarität. Wir gehören zusammen, wir sind eine Gruppe und wenn jemand in der Scheiße steckt, dann helfe ich ihm.
Zusammenarbeit auf gleicher Augenhöhe. Habe ich das schon mal gesagt? Ja! Entschuldigung. Das war's von der Front der
Transdisziplinarität. Transdisziplinarität. Transdisziplinarität.
Transdisziplinarität.
Transdisziplinarität.
eben